friends that you've made or like friends back home, family back home. Do you want to talk about like the digital frame?
Oh, yeah. Thanks. I was totally lost with your lead in there. I was glad you explained it to me.
This is Worldschooling Q&A. I'm Astrid, creator of The Wandering Daughter. As a traveling family, we've spent 4 years traveling full-time to over 18 countries and 6 continents. Wherever we go, we try to learn as much as we can about the countries and cultures we visit. While we didn't coin the term, we like to call this worldschooling, using the world as our classroom. Each week, my husband Clint and I will answer one question about worldschooling and share our experiences of traveling the world with our kids. Ready to get started? Great! Let's dive in.
Okay, this week we are answering the question, how do I ensure my child maintains friendships and social skills while traveling?
Yeah, this is something we dealt with quite a bit. I think most families with kids do, especially if you start traveling after the kids are of a certain age and they have friends and stuff back home. And so, yeah, what are some ways you can think of that we used while we were traveling?
Yeah, I mean, I often see this, just before I dive into that, like I often see this as a question in like Facebook groups, like even people just talking to me about like world school and like, well, how do you guys, how do you stay connected? Like, how do you make sure that your kids don't get lonely? And it's a challenge for sure. And I talk about it on my website. I have an article about how to keep in touch with family during travel. But the biggest thing in my mind is just making sure that, one, they're like maintaining the friendships and, communities, finding ways to maintain or keeping connected to the communities back home.
Yeah. But
also maintaining making new friends while they travel, right? I feel like we can divide the topic in those two ways, right?
Yeah, I think staying connected with friends that are their ongoing friends is hugely important. There's a number of ways we can do that. So I think simply messaging apps, there's so many of them now.
Yep.
It's really not hard. When the kids are younger, we used Facebook Messenger for Kids.
Yeah.
Facebook Messenger for Kids was great because the parents got to control kind of who they connected with.
Yeah.
And so that was a really good one. But there's all sorts of, WhatsApp, if they have their own phone number, that kind of stuff. Another one that I like actually is Marco Polo, because it's like these video shorts. It's basically like video text messages.
Yep.
And that's fun. That's a nice way of keeping in touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes we would just record like video messages to our families, like, on our phones, and then send it to them too if they didn't have Marco Polo. Like I remember we would do that for like birthdays, like happy birthday, we're just sending a message. Or sometimes I would send messages to my mom of like, hey, we're just giving a tour of this house, like this is where we're staying and that type of stuff. So that would be a nice way. Sometimes like as we used to do, like we'd set up virtual play dates.
Yeah.
Or if it was, sometimes it would be through Zoom or something, and the kids would like connect at the time they were playing with Minecraft. So they'd connect on the same like server or something on Minecraft.
Yeah.
And then they would like play or talk on Zoom as well. So
and your mileage may vary on those virtual play dates. It just depends. Like virtual is kind of sometimes hard, but it's nice to at least keep them seeing face to face from time to time. Gaming has become actually something bigger as the kids get older. Gaming with friends, especially for our son, being able to game with friends, because they just have an ongoing conversation with them as they're gaming, right?
Yeah.
So that's it's no different than like when we were younger and be on the phone with our friends. So Yeah.
I think the main challenge is just like making sure that you're all accommodating for time zones and stuff like that. Sometimes like when we're in Asia and then our friends are, or like our kids' friends are back home in the US, like it could be like, well, let's do like an early morning meetup for our kid, which means it's like an evening meetup for their kids or something like that. So just, you know, have be mindful of the time difference as well.
I think another kind of fun way to stay connected with friends from home is invite them out, or invite the families to meet up with you somewhere. That's a great way for them to do like vacation travel and meet up with you. We've done this a couple times, and it's awesome. It also like establishes a different level of friendship with the kids, because they get to see their friend in a totally different context. You get to share this experience together, which is really cool. So
we did that. I remember specifically like our visit to Bali, and we had a friends of ours, and we still are friends with them now. And their daughter is like really good friends with our daughter, and they stayed with. We booked rooms at a homestay, you know, next to each other, and spent like the week together, and it was so much fun. It was cool also just to like hang out with the family in a different context too. So something we also used to do, and this was I used it as an excuse for the kids to practice writing, but they would like write letters to their friends, and then we'd take a picture of it, and then I would like you know, send a screenshot or a photo of the letter to their parents so that they can like read it to their kids. Because for us, like, you know, when I was a kid, pen pals were a thing. But it's really hard to be pen pals with somebody if you don't have like a permanent address. And so it was hard for us to like, well, we're only going to be here for a certain amount of time. So if you're going to send a postcard to us, it's not going to get to us. So,
although us sending back letters or postcards is cool, but
So I think just the taking pictures of the photo, or like taking a photo of the letter and then emailing it to the parent is fine. Especially if the kids aren't like, you know, are okay with like, the kids don't feel like it's too personal. Encroachment.
Works well when the kids are younger. As they get more in teen stuff, obviously that becomes, but by the time they're in teens, usually they have their own phones, they're texting each other anyway. So it's not an issue. Cool. What about making new friends? We're talking about connecting with old friends
and family.
What about making new friends?
So that sometimes was a challenge, right? Like I think in some ways, making new friends is harder. Like it was sometimes hard for us to connect with like local community, families in the local community. One, maybe it's like a language barrier, or if there is like a group of families that speak English, their lifestyle is like a little bit different than ours. And so, you know, they're like more settled, whereas we're more transient. So sometimes it was harder to find like other families. But when we did, it was great. Like I think one of the great things about meeting another family or making friends while you travel is that like you skip over the like small talk BS that comes through.
No ongoing conversation about the weather.
Right. You just like get to the heart of, you know, the friendships.
Yeah, it's really cool. And this can happen with I think it happened more often with transient families, but it did happen with I guess foreign families living abroad.
Right.
So because there was this kind of shared experience, we really had a hard time in all the years of travel making friends with local families. That was the one thing I think maybe as a slight regret, but also we also just kind of at some point realized it's hard for them too, right? Because we are a transient family, we're coming through. They have a very completely different lifestyle, just like we do when we're back in the US. Like they're very much ingrained in the local community and have routines and things like that. And so for this transient family to kind of come in and make friends with them, that's harder to do. So most of our friendships came from other foreign families
or other traveling
families. Yeah.
But like meeting people at like Worldschooling hubs or meetups, or using like, Facebook groups to find other traveling families in that location was a good way to like meet families.
Now, I do think there is a case to be made for, they don't have to be long-term friends. They can be short-term acquaintances too. Because I think just like adults, we also have a lot of short-term acquaintances, either work colleagues or stuff like that. So, one thing is like signing them up for local classes or school activities or things like that. There sometimes are opportunities to do that while you're a traveling family. And those are great because they just get to meet and interact with other kids and be friendly with them in that moment. But then even if that moment's done, it doesn't take away from the experience of that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about like just like, going to the park or something, or going to like a class or activity or something?
Yeah. Well, I mentioned the classes and activities. Those are great opportunities to like maybe meet other kids or things like that. But also just going to the park. I mean, the park is nice because it also fits in like a previous episode. We talked about romantic dates. Like the grown-ups can just sit on a chair or on a bench and hang out and talk while the kids are out playing. And, playground games across the world there are a lot of shared playground games.
Yeah.
And playground games are made to also be easily explained to other kids. And so it doesn't matter we've been in Mexico, we've been in Indonesia, we've been all sorts of places where the kids just will participate in whatever is being played on the playground.
Yep.
That's really cool. Yeah. And sometimes, certain moments are shy. Like our son often gets invited to play soccer whenever we're around, but for some reason, and he does play soccer, but he doesn't ever feel comfortable playing soccer whenever we're traveling.
Yeah.
But the kids are often the local kids are often very like curious.
Yeah.
And they also they just want you to join in with them and play. Yeah, so it can be fun as well. Yeah.
So I think before we end the episode, I think that there's like one thing or one fun tool that you could use to like stay connected to your friends, like friends that you've made or like friends back home, family back home. Do you want to talk about like the digital frame?
Oh, yeah. Thanks. I was totally lost with your lead in there. I was glad you explained it to me. There's this really cool, I'm a product person. I like products and tools. And granted, when you're traveling, it's hard to bring a lot of products, but there's a really cool, it's called the Aura frame. It's a digital picture frame. And this thing's amazing. I mean, there's been a number of these types of things on the market before, but this one's really great. Basically, it's a really sturdy picture frame. So traveling with it feels like it would be easy because it's very light, but very sturdy. It doesn't feel like it's going to break very easily. Mm-hmm. And it's fairly small. It's like you can get 8x10 or a little smaller than that. But what's so cool is it connects to an app. And then that app can be shared with whoever you want to share it with. And they can just upload photos to the app or have it automatically connected to their photo album.
Yep.
And then those pictures will automatically get uploaded to your picture frame.
Yeah.
So we thought about the next time we do and this of course came out after we were long-term traveling.
Yeah.
But we were thinking that would be a great option to and we bought one for some family members, but have one with the family member or the friends. And then we also keep one and then they can post photos of their family on that one. And we can post photos of our family on theirs. And then it just becomes this shared way of just almost seeing kind of day-to-day life, right? Seeing photos from day to day. So I think that's that's a cool one. I think that we'll probably adopt for the next time we travel.
Yep.
But yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yep. I think that's it.
Okay.
Well, that's all for today. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Worldschooling Q&A with Astrid and Clint. Be sure to check out the show notes for any links we mentioned in the episode, and visit my website, thewanderingdaughter.com, to dive deeper into worldschooling and family travel.
If you like what you hear, please consider supporting The Wandering Daughter on Patreon. It really helps us out and keeps the show going. You'll also get exclusive perks like episode transcripts, additional resources, access to office hours with us, and more. You can find us on Spotify or the podcast app of your choice. If you're listening to this on Spotify, you can tap the bell icon to get notified when new episodes come out. And if you like this episode, please give us a 5-star review. It really helps new people find our show.
If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe and tap the bell icon to get notified of new episodes. You can follow me on Instagram @WanderDaughter or follow The Wandering Daughter on Facebook. Links to these are also in the show notes. If you have any worldschooling questions you'd like us to answer for future episodes, feel free to throw them in the comments or send us a message at thewanderingdaughter.com/podcast. Until next time, happy travels!
Bye!